All right. Test.
Test.
Test. And welcome back to segment 3 of Convincing Idiots. We're fucking now. And we are getting into our third and final segment of the episode. Yes, that's right. So, that might be...
Good thing my pants are off.
That might be the way present day Nick enters a third episode of a podcast segment. But Nick at 16 years old, let's say, he would not have entered a podcast in that way. Because he wouldn't have entered a podcast at all because they didn't exist when Nick was 16. So
are you sure?
That's a little bit. If they did, they were very. They were not known about very much. They were not very prevalent in society as the way that they are now. I think that's due in part to us. But I'm not here to toot our horn. I mean, so we'll move on. But
I'll toot it.
That's that ties into. I appreciate that. That ties into what we're going to talk about this next segment. I didn't introduce. I am Millennial Nick. This is Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean, and we are here to talk on our third and final segment a little bit about we have a musing.
He said we
have a musing, an idea, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
How would we? This was an idea of Dean's, I believe. What would we guide 16-year-old version of ourselves? Or I don't know if 16 is necessarily the set-on date. Teenage version of ourselves, right? What kind of advice would you give? Knowing what you know now, living the life you have lived, experiences that you have, knowledge you have gained, what would you pass along to teenage version of you? And I'm going to let Dean take it from here. If you want to lay out a little bit what you're thinking with this question, what kind of specifics, if there are specifics. So I will hand it over to our Zennial Dean here to explain a little bit further in depth.
Sorry, I was distracted by a little more Brian's body than we're normally allowed to see. So
that's what's under there.
It's so hot in here.
Yeah. Ooh,
crazy. No, the original
if I
idea
was talking to teenage Nick, I'd say stick around for that third segment. You go see some midriff, boy.
The original idea of this really came down to one question, and then it steamrolled into this, what would you tell yourself? But you guys answer this very first question, and then we'll go from here.
Okay.
Would you like teenage you? And would teenage you like you right now? That's where this started, from that question. And then we'll go on to the advice or whatever you want to have that conversation with you and yourself. But would you like teenage you, and would teenage you like you today? Brian, go.
Okay, so I was grabbing here off camera. So would I like this young man?
Oh my God!
Wow!
Oh, it is so hot
teenage
in here.
Brian. Oh wait.
Oh, what are you holding?
The trombone. Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah!
In hopes to get a rusty trombone. I'd see. Look at him.
So on YouTube, I'll post this picture.
You look like you're dressed as Austin Powers, but not ironically.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, we had the weird. Yeah, look at that. We had that weird scarf thing in band. And it was like a long red trench coat thing. Almost.
I don't know what's more frilly, the shirt or the mullet escaping like Doc Ock out the back of the side of his fucking head.
It's got Medusa curls on the back of his head there. Jesus.
That's right.
The only thing that froze was that tiny caterpillar across his lip.
That's right. A fucking woolly, it's woolly bear season here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Dick Goddard would be proud, buddy.
Yep, I'm going to do the rest of the show like this.
Well, hey, Dick Goddard, because vagina wants to.
So would my
thank you. Hold on, let's stop and all of us thank Brian.
Let's appreciate.
Right now
Thank you, Brian.
Such a wonderful gift. And ladies and gentlemen, if you stayed this long, you're welcome. And also go to the YouTube video to watch what you just saw.
Yep. I'll
if
post
anything,
a picture.
It's framed. Do you keep that framed?
Jesus, go to our YouTube video. Go to our YouTube. Convincing Idiots on YouTube.
This is my senior year band picture at Kenmore High School. It's so funny to me. This is my mom's frame. I hang it on the wall here because it's funny to me. I just hang it here. Yeah, in my office. Yeah,
that is fantastic.
How do we get a copy? Is more my question.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll put that on merch maybe too.
Absolutely. I want a T-shirt with that on it, please, and thank you.
Man,
do we have any dildos that we can put it on? I think that would really sell.
Oh yeah. So like hotcakes. Yeah.
Just turn on the vibration and the hair just wispily flows in the background. I like this.
And it goes like the trombone thing. Yep. What's funny too is off camera over here, you can't see it. The actual trombone in that picture is also hanging right over here off camera in my office.
I want to walk through your house and see the Museum of Brian that exists.
You've never been?
I've not been up in that room. I've been to your house. I've never been upstairs. I've never been up there.
It's one of those like a movie. Like when you go there and you go to take a piss, you have to sneak into every room just to see what like hidden treasures are in there. Yeah, it's something to behold.
Yeah, you could have had it as well if you want to be 50 plus years old and living alone. Yep. That's what Dean said. No, not Dean said. I've had some of Peyton's, like when she was in high school, and we had little gatherings over here every so often, like a fire or something like that. And I was tickled. I loved the fact that she invited friends over here. That was very special to me, frankly. But some of the teenage boys were like, "Wow, there's so much cool stuff," and I would tell them, "Hey, you can have this too." I don't recommend it necessarily for you,
but it can be yours.
But if you would like to have it and just have anything you want up on your walls and in your home, it's very simple. Just don't get married, but you'll be 40, 50 years old, and maybe you're happy with that, maybe you're not.
So Brian, you told those teenagers that. What would you tell teenage Brian? In this conversation, you get a time travel machine, you and him in a room.
Let's get to the first question. The first question first.
Yes.
I never answered the first question.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we got way sidetracked, but worth it.
My younger self, no. My younger self would be annoying to me right now.
Okay.
It would be super annoying because that'd be a super annoying teenage kid, dumbass, trying to be funny.
I would love him.
I don't know. So
I just run my fingers through his hair.
In some respects, I would like some things about me back then, as far as like my respect to my parents and different things, the love of my friends and things like that. But for the most part, I would find my younger self probably very annoying.
And the flip side, what does teenage Brian think of what he's become? Just in the hour meeting.
I think that young man would be like just amazed that wow, you seem so old.
You could grow an actual mustache?
Oh yeah, that's sure from younger self to see like, the full beard. Because right now it's funny. It's so when I was that age, my dad at the time had a full beard, a graying beard, and everything else. So I'd probably be like, wow, you kind of remind me of Dad in some respect. And you definitely get a different appreciation of why is your dad so gruff and things at times. Yeah, that's life. That's right. What life could do to you.
Life kicks you in the balls and never stops until you die.
Yeah. However, if I would show up like this, maybe with like
I wish I had my pipe to smoke at that point.
That would have been a fitting moment for it. Absolutely.
That's right. My younger self might think it would be interesting if I'm wearing like a superhero shirt or some type of T-shirt I normally wear or something like that. So that might be interesting. Like, okay, well, you're not just totally off the rails necessarily. It's like the fact that you still like things and wear things that you like at this age, even to where 17 years old, you like superheroes. 54 years old. He's like superheroes and all that shit,
Whoa,
so that'd be kind of neat.
So you still get to wear superhero t-shirts?
Right.
What did that cost you?
Right, back
Everything.
That's right.
The life of solitude.
We're scrapping this fucking topic. We're just going to do this for the next hour. Just Brian and his teenage self. I don't give a shit about us, Nick. Let's just go on Brian for now. Fuck it.
Absolutely.
That's it. There's your question. I would not like my other self, and other self would be, weirded out by how old I looked, but kind of maybe thought some aspects might be kind of cool and interesting. Hopefully, that's it.
Okay, Nick.
Yeah. Okay. So would present day me like teenage me? Yes and no. I was very
3
similar.
years ago.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I've grown a lot in the last, handful of months here. I similar to what Brian said is it was like, I think there's a lot of qualities I would have had that would have been that I would now look back and go, man, you're such a douche. Like, oh my God, stop. Like trying to, just there's certain things when you're a teenager that you're just like, you don't even know, like, just stop trying so hard. Stop, you're being a douchebag. So
stop taking your hair for granted.
There's definitely an element of that. Yes. Yes. I would like that. I had a lot more hair. Oh my God. I would enjoy that. I'd be like, you look magnificent.
Can we talk? No, I just want to run my fingers through your hair, please, for an hour.
A douche sometimes, but your hair is magnificent. Yeah, but I think, like Brian said too, like whoa, shit.
Oh,
I was a pretty good kid, so like I think I would, in some ways, I think I was better then as well. Like I was more
pretentious.
I don't know. I was just a more hopeful person, I think. I was less, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I was less jaded by things, maybe. Yeah. So I think I would appreciate that about younger me.
When you spend that much time with Robin, that's bound to happen.
But yeah, I think there's definitely, it would be a little bit of both. I felt like I was a good kid, and I probably would look back on me younger and go, you got some ways to go, but that's, this is fine.
That's good.
So, but me today.
So would you like him?
Would I like him?
Yeah, that's a starting question.
Yes,
would you like
because okay. I still know what I know, right? And it's endearing to me. It's endearing to see. It would be endearing to see me of yesteryear. So yes, I would. And I would like him.
Does he like you,
despite his shortcomings? Does he like me now? I think he does. Absolutely. I'm okay. I don't mean to toot my own horn here or anything, but I'm proud.
You get to go play actual hockey once a week?
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. My biggest thing is so even as a young
hair, but I get to play hockey.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Right. I'm still doing it. That is a feather in the cap. I'm still doing it all these years later. So there's that.
Right. There you go.
But no, I definitely, even from a young age, I had a good family life. I had a good family dynamic with me and my mom and dad, and I always look forward to the day that I could be a dad and have a family. So for that reason specifically, I would be in complete awe of the life that I have now. I would certainly look at Robin and go, how the fuck did you do that? Like, how did you land a girl like this? I don't know. But I would be blown away by that.
And then,
hey, don't ask how. Just it's here we are now, right? Okay, you got it. You've secured the situation. We're good.
No, well, we'll get into the conversation itself. But one thing that you could explain to younger Nick, is just explain to him how New Year's Eves are what we do at New Year's Eve. With the giant Nerf war with your kids,
right.
He'd be out over the moon. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely, because that's fun. And then just my family dynamic, I couldn't be happier or feel more fortunate to have that. So
the greatest brother-in-law in the world. Yeah,
absolutely, yes, absolutely. I would look at that, and like Brian said, I look around this room that I'm in. This, in many respects, is an ode to my childhood. I still display my figures and my toys and things that I even had as a child in here. And, the fact that, as you mentioned with the music and stuff, I've gotten to pass along my love for Power Rangers and Star Wars and things like that and relive it again through my kids. And the Spider-Man stuff and that my kids love. So all that stuff would be just insanely awesome to me. It all came to fruition. All the things that I really wanted out of an adult life, I end up getting, and this is what it looks like, and it's incredible, and it's even better than I imagined in some ways, probably because it's real. So, I think I'd be very proud of me now.
Nice.
But yeah, I might be a little disappointed that like I didn't move to Canada and I never made the NHL, and there'd be those things. I'd be like, really? You didn't do anything? No. But
I made
on
NHL on the video game.
Right.
Does that count?
Yeah,
It was a bobblehead me, little shit.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, there he is. These people.
Motherfucker got a bobblehead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Did teenage Nick ever think that grown-up Nick would ever have a bobblehead of himself? No.
Amazing technology.
No.
Again, goes back to the greatest brother-in-law.
The greatest brother, all owed to you. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most things are.
That's right.
Bobbleheads, the clap, most things are owed to me.
Yes. Yes. All the greatest venereal diseses I have experienced have come from my greatest brother-in-law in the world, who also gave me the bobblehead.
That's right.
Awesome. So, Dean, what about you? What say you?
Okay. Like Brian, no. I would not like Dean. He would be annoying. I can just hear that whiny bitch ass voice.
Wait, is the younger Dean talking to you, or is this you talking to younger Dean?
Fucking go either way. No, we're gonna walk in the room, and I'm gonna look at him. You gotta look at me in disgust, and look at him. And
everybody hating everybody.
And he's going to look at me. Of course, I have fucking man tits now. Of course.
You probably would.
I would choke him, but I'm afraid that I know what happens. He just comes on my feet real quick. God. Yeah, we won't get along. We won't like each other, but we'll have this conversation. He's going to look at me. He's, of course. Look at you. And I know what this is, and I look at him and it's just gross and awful. And same thing, hating yourself years ago is still hating yourself today. So, fuck both of us. All right, moving on.
Well, let's wrap this. I think I can go to bed happy now.
Wow.
What? Come on. All right. So now the questions. You get an hour with your teenage self. What's some of the questions? What do you talk about? You know what I mean? You could go and, you could tell them the lottery numbers, but if you hit the lottery numbers at 19 years old, your life's different. You don't get the kids. You know what I mean? Like, so there are consequences. So maybe it's just advice. Maybe it's just warning him about things that are maybe inconsequential to life going forward. You know what I mean? Like, watch that curb, you'll break your ankle. You know what I mean? Who knows? But it's up to you. You could change your whole life if you want. You get an hour in the room with teenage you. What do you guys talk about? How does that conversation go? Let's actually start with Nick this time.
Okay. So this is consequential to my future, right?
Yeah.
There could be a time variant situation where if I tell them not to do something,
because the advice you give him, I mean, you could, if you tell the wall advice, it doesn't know anything. So, you know what I mean? As in,
yes,
if it doesn't mean anything, the advice you give him, means shit. So, yeah.
I would be, and this is not to be like too like cheeseball about it or whatever, but like I would be hesitant to give myself any advice before I met Robin, because then everything would have changed and I wouldn't have my kids and I wouldn't have the life that I have. So for that reason, I would say, do you up until that point. I would maybe, since I met Robin, shortly thereafter, I would probably say don't drink 3/4 of a bottle of vodka and try to drive home, because you'll black out and drive into a checkpoint. I would also say
that's damn fine advice.
Once again, with liquor, maybe don't take several shots of vodka and then go play hockey. You might break your ankle, and that'll save you a couple grand in medical bills if you don't do that. Things like that.
I don't need to be an AI to see a pattern here.
Be wary of alcohol. But there again, if I swore off alcoholism, I never would have met your sister, Dean, and then I wouldn't have. I actually owe my lovely, beautiful family life to alcoholism.
That's true.
I can't really hate on it altogether.
That's
because
true.
we were both deep in the throes of alcoholism when we met, and that's how we ended up with the life that we have today. So I wouldn't change a thing. But yeah, if I could give some advice, I would honestly, I would probably just tell him that you're there's going to be some patches in there. They're going to be rough, but it's again cliche. It's kind of boring. I'm not going to take too long on it, but it's just like stick with it. Trust me, things work out in the end. Like everything, stay true to yourself. Follow your gut with things, follow your heart, whatever have you, and it works out for you. I promise it does. It works out amazing, better than you even think right now. So just just do you. Follow what you think is right, and I have my parents to oath to that for my upbringing. I felt like they gave me a pretty good barometer of right and wrong and how to handle situations, and things worked out pretty well for me. So I would probably not change. That's kind of a boring answer. I really wouldn't. I'd be afraid. I wouldn't want to change anything. Now, if there's a flip side to this conversation coming to where, I don't know if I want to answer it now or not, or if I'm supposed to answer it now or not. But if there is something that doesn't change time, I would give tips such as, is there going to be a question for that?
That would be the last question.
Okay, so I won't answer that now. So Brian, you go.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you in the sense that I would be very cautious to try to say something that would, not allow me to have Peyton. So I would just be very, very careful in that respect because she has been she probably saved my life probably in many respects. I don't know. I would say, hey, listen, you're going to have some. I mean, obviously, I'm talking to you as a young person. You can see that I'm an older. This is me talking to my younger self. I'm 54. You've obviously made it this long, so that's a good thing. So if you're worried about anything like that, you're still around on this earth for a little while.
So do those drugs.
Yeah,
You're fine.
I'm past the age of dad. You're when you're this age, so we're doing okay in that respect. But yeah, you're going to be very difficult patches of life. There's going to be things you're going to go through that you may not think you're going to be able to make it with financially, personally, relationship wise. You're going to have heartbreak, some really, really tough times. You're going to doubt that you can maybe get through it, but you're going to be fine. You're going to get through it. You're going to use your family. You're going to use your friends. Appreciate all the time you have with your friends. Some of the friends that you have in life right now, some of your very best friends when you're my age are not going to be here. I'm not going to tell you who that is. All I'm going to tell you is enjoy the time with your friends right now because it could be gone in a minute, but you are going to be blessed with having long-term friendships, many long-term friendships for many years. So that's something to value and appreciate and never lose sight of, that you're not going to be alone. Sometimes you might think you're alone, but you're not, so just hang in there. And I'm not going to say if you got married or not, because I don't want to bum myself out when I'm that young. Because I was envisioned as a young man that I was going to be like my parents and have like all my friends, all my close friends for the most part had two parents around, long-term marriages. They had kids, and it was like that's what I envisioned having for myself.
Very
I never had
nuclear family setup. Yeah,
right.
Never had it, but I would at least tell myself that I'm not going to tell you if you got married or whatever, but you will have a beautiful child, a beautiful daughter, and she's going to be the light of your life. Not going to tell you who it's from. Just hang in there. You're not going to feel that you're ready for it, but you're going to be fine. It's going to be very, very, very difficult. You're going to go through some of the most difficult periods of your life, potentially, but you're going to be through it. He's going to be great, and he's going to come out great. On the other side, you're going to experience many beautiful things with her. So just, hang, like you say, kind of hang tough.
Yeah.
Hang tough. I'll probably give myself advice and, just don't live beyond your means. Don't go crazy with, buying too much credit cards and all that. When you're younger, you're going to appreciate that a little bit more, but just hang in there.
No shit, right?
Just say things are going to be fine. Appreciate your time with your parents. because all that stuff, just general advice like that. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to just risk screwing something up. And maybe the last thing, Nick, I might tell my younger self, as hard as it might be right now for you, the Dallas Cowboys will win multiple Super Bowls.
Yes, they will.
I'm not going to tell you when, but you hang in there. You will see it in your lifetime.
The crazy thing is, that was old news to teenage Nick. Like, teenage Nick was like, yeah, I know.
Right.
Like, that happened when I was a child.
So, as you two are walking out your two separate doors, right? You're going to stop younger Brian and go, hey, one last thing. Someday, some very handsome young man's going to walk into your office. That's right. You're going to be a boss. And he's going to ask you to join a bowling league. Fire him. Fire him at that fucking moment. Kick him out of your office.
Rid the vermin from your life now.
Get him out.
That might be another thing. So someday, some guys will be sitting on it. We're talking about having what they call a podcast.
It's like the radio.
Your small brain can't comprehend that right now, but you're right. It's like the radio, but you could put yourself on the radio if you want to. Just really rethink that.
Question.
It's a lot of work and it's a thankless job.
Everything. Really rethink that. Yeah. You're going to age rapidly.
You had a full brown, dark, thick beard when it starts.
Yep.
3 years in.
Yep. No, that's kind of it. Just like I say, just general hang in there, like you say, Nick. This is like with you. So
that makes
Dean,
sense.
what about you? Yeah.
Where are we at? Well, I like or we're at conversation.
What advice would you give younger you? But it would change. It would at this point it could change the trajectory of your entire life.
Okay, well, we first walk in. Teenage Dean is going to look me up and down and go, "You don't have to say it. I will stop eating cookies." Jesus, do a sit up. Are they outlawed in the future? God damn it! And then.
Or at least cover yourself with a Tommy Bahama shirt. Jesus.
That's right. Yeah.
Like me.
Are you exercising in the future? Yeah. Well, what are you doing? Swimming. What?
I sure hope oatmeal's trash bags filled with oatmeals become sexy in the future, because Jesus Christ, if not, we're not getting fucked at all. I'm not getting fucked now, and I expect to get fucked now with that body? God damn it.
It only gets harder,
this conversation starts. There's proof of one time. No, I don't. I think I'm just going to tell him, to, like you said, be patient. And I'm going to steal yours, Brian, is fucking easy on the live within your means in your 20s, because that will come back and fucking bite you in the ass.
Yep.
You're going to be driving a small white car. I can't remember what it was, but it's a small white car. And at that time, you're going to date this girl. And you're going to go on a few dates. When you pull up to the house, invite her in. That's all I'm going to tell him. Invite her in. Don't let her drive away. That's one thing that I would tell him. Again, to be vague for him so you don't give too much information. And it would be a way too big of a story for this podcast at this moment. I would tell him that to invest in probably Apple.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would tell him to just stop being a douchebag. Stop being a pussy. Things are going to come along, and you're going to pass on them because you're a punk ass bitch. I was known for a brief period as Mr.
As
Missed
a punk ass
Opportunity.
bitch. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm known as that now. Look for that T-shirt on our fucking merch. So
I like that a lot. Punk ass bitch.
Punk ass
Hashtag punk ass
Yeah,
bitch.
I'm gonna use that one of
Yeah.
your other pictures you sent. Yeah, I
All
like
right.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, there there is some opportunities. Like, yeah. Here's the question of time travel. I love my son dearly, and I would do anything for him. But like, if you, and I think we've probably been over this on other time travel conversations, but like, if I won the lottery at 20 and I don't have kids, or nope, you know what? There, you could fix it in a way that tell him to play, to invest in this or play these numbers or whatever, but tell him to be here at this place in a certain time where it, you know what I mean, to meet this person to make this happen. You know what I mean? So you could do both. That way you could make your fucking life better and still have the good things.
You would tell yourself you have to meet, you have to meet Lori, or you just say be in this location and something's going to happen.
I wasn't going to give names, but you be at the certain place at a certain time to meet the certain people to have your kids. You know what I mean? Not like the certain place of like, be there fucking her and, at 12:05. Not that, but like, thrust 3 times. She's going to go, is that it? And you're going to go, yes. And then, kid. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely try to enrich my life of some sort, but he would be so obnoxious to talk to that I don't think I would get annoyed and just fucking walk away or choke him. All right, but for you guys, final question. You get, like Nick said before, you now get to tell him something that doesn't ruin the space-time continuum situation.
So just pure advice. This is what, if I could do something differently, I love my life, but if I could do something differently,
you get that.
Here's what I would do better. Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay. I will start. For me, I was always a good student in school, but I never took school seriously. I didn't work as hard as I could have, and I never really. I wish I would have told myself, hey, like, you need to come up with, give me 3 things. 3 things you want to be when you grow up. One of them can be famous this or that or whatever. The other 2, pick something you're interested in. Hey, 16-year-old you want to play in the NHL someday, right? Okay, there's one of yours you want to play in the NHL. Okay, let's think of something. Would you like to be involved in hockey in a way that's not a player? Let's go
be a towel boy.
Sports medicine, or be sure. I mean, something in some sort of what's a craft or something that you can do, something you can study that can put you close to the game that you love.
What are you good at? Masturbation.
For your life,
guys like hand jobs.
There you go. Right, you're the locker room guy. It's fine. You can work for the video coach for the Chicago Blackhawks. You can be his personal assistant.
That's specific.
Save some other players some trouble. But or just things like that. I discovered much later in life, I'm like, I am fascinated by marine biology, for example. That would have been a cool thing for me to choose to go into.
Have you always enjoyed like looking at Marines, or just like studying them, or?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
The
that
physique.
Fascinating.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But no, there's things like that, marine biology, or just something, being some sort of scientist in the Arctic or something like that would have been insane to me. That would have been cool. That would have been something that doesn't sound sexy when you're a teenager, that you don't want to like, ooh, that's what I'm going for. But it's practical, and it's something you can work towards, and something you could actually have a career in, or you know what I mean, and invest in your future. I never took it seriously like that. I was just too focused on the moment at all times. So definitely I would tell myself that would probably be my biggest one. It's just because I mean, as I outlined earlier, I feel that in my opinion, I have a pretty charmed life. I'm happy with where I am. If there's one piece of the puzzle missing, it's that I can't really complain about my job, but I don't have a career that I'm passionate about, right? Like I don't go to work every day going like, this is meaningful work for me. I can't wait to get to work. I envy people that are like, I love my job. Like I love going to work every day. So that's something that, I don't have a bad job. I don't have gripes, but it's not something that I'm super passionate about. So that would probably be something that I would probably tell myself. I would also just, probably tell myself to be more secure in yourself, I guess. You know what I mean? Like be more comfortable in your own skin. I mean, I think for a lot of my teenage
you
years,
fucking idiot.
Most people don't, have that. They don't
Shit.
have that security. So yeah, maybe that. But I don't know. Brian, what about you?
No, that's good stuff. I guess I would say one thing is, you're going to start to play some organized sports for your high school. Just finish one fucking season. Like I tried out for basketball. I used to love basketball
In the 70s.
Right.
So they were the super short. Are there pictures of that? Please tell us.
No pictures of that. This is in the 80s. But I used to just have a passion for basketball, watching the NBA, watching Larry Bird, watching the Celtics. I used to shoot baskets for hours and hours and hours and hours out back. Just loved it so much. So I tried out, went through all the conditioning, the toughest, and I quit just because I lost confidence in myself and all that. And to this day, it was something that I regret. Not that I had, I'm not suggesting at all I would have done anything other than high school basketball. I would have liked to have realized the experience of playing, wearing my high school uniform out there, playing in front of people. Whether I got on the court or not, the fact that I started something and finished it, looking back, that would have been a nice thing for me personally, is just to finish one season of Oregon. I started to play T-ball as a kid. I quit. Pee-wee football, quit. Basketball, quit.
You're a fucking quitter.
Yeah.
Well, see, that was something I sort of had to go back and reflect on. Is one thing I did. In all seriousness, I did play band. I don't give a fuck what people say about it. I did play all through from 6th grade to 12th grade. That was something I enjoyed.
That's taxing.
Yeah, and I enjoyed performing. Sure. It was hard practice. You had to show up at the high school at 7:30 in the morning and practice before school. So that was tough. I stuck with that the entire time. So that was something I'm proud of.
Yeah.
In that respect, because we were very good and we had a lot of accolades and everything else. But for me, from an athletic perspective, I would have liked to have. So I told my younger self, play a fucking season. Okay. What's the worst thing that fucking happen? You sit on the fucking bench, nothing happens. Or maybe you go out there and make a couple baskets in front of your classmates, and who knows?
Yeah. You never know. Hand job in the parking lot by a cheerleader.
Neighbors?
Who knows? I can't believe I forgot that. That's a big one. That for a long time.
You gave the hand job to a basketball player? Yes. The parking lot?
Yeah. Why do you think I showed up for my senior year? I mean, that was why I was.
Well, that makes sense. Everything makes sense now. Everything.
No, but that was a serious one for me for a long time. Because I played like house league in Canton, like hockey, and it was at a certain point, my parents they were like, it was the last year that Jackson was accepting open enrollment for people to come and play and be on the hockey team. And they were like, if you're serious about it, we're willing to move to Jackson. We will move to Jackson. You can go to Jackson and you can play high school hockey there. And I was like, I've been here my whole life and my friends. And I wish I could go back and be like, you're not going to talk to any of those fucking people ever again. Like other than a couple people that, through circumstance you see around and you hang up, you're not going to talk to these people. Like fucking move to Jackson and take this shit seriously. Go, you love this, go. It was just stupid shit. That used to but there again, you get into the whole paradox of, how my life would have been different and whatever. Sure. I would have been here at this time.
But again, this question, you don't have to worry about that. If
that never was not a thing, that is my biggest living regret other than the college thing is that you should have just fucking gone and done that. Who knows what would have come from that? It's like Brian said, I'm not insinuating I would have been like a high level hockey player, but who knows what that would have led to? Or could I have gotten some sort of money towards any type of scholarship? Or could I have, could that have kind of rolled over into a college experience or whatever, that would have been cool. But oh well, it's fine.
Yep. And I'm with you too, Nick, on the sense of the passion thing. Like as a kid, loved to draw, loved comic books, had a passion for it. And for a while there, that's what I thought I wanted to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to draw and create art. Went to college for that, right out of high school. Didn't hone my skills enough.
Sure.
And got shied away from it. And just the fact of, the talent of my classmates, even in college, was like, Jesus Christ, these kids, it's a whole other level of just kid, because this is not computerized stuff at the time. This is all
right.
People
all by hand,
sitting down, fucking hand drawn shit, and super talented people. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I can't even compete with these kids in here, let alone the world. And so I shied away from it, and this and that. However, I wished I would have done more to try to at least pursue that more and that type of thing. That's probably one reason why I'm so passionate about it, because in a way, this is at least some art. That's how I view this for us.
Sure.
There's art in the world. It's something that's out there. We're creative. We're putting something out there. That's why I'm so passionate about it. But anyway,
no,
I wish I would
right.
have tried that.
I watched a homeless guy smear shit on a wall one time and said, "Look at my painting." Right. And I get it, how this could be art.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be nice to, like you said, to your point, it'd be nice to be able to make money from something that you truly have a passion for, and that's rare. Not people can experience
like
that.
Nick out in the parking lot,
right?
The basketball player.
Nick has a real passion for it.
True passion.
I do. Brian, do you still draw?
Get paid enough.
Do you draw?
Not as no.
Really? Okay.
But there's no reason not to.
Now, could you
make the time to do it?
Do you have the?
Well, everyone can draw, Dean.
No, but I know how he's going to respond to this, because the original thing is, do you have the talent to do some cool shit? And I know you're going to say, oh no, but could if you sat down and wanted to just doodles and just have fun with it, you could work with that?
Sure, I could. Sure.
Okay.
I mean, your skills are kind of frozen in time. You know what I'm saying? As you might imagine, with whatever you're doing, that you got so far, you could sort of pick it back up. Yeah, I just need to make time to do it. That's it. I need to make time to do stuff like that.
That's not necessarily true. When I was in broadcasting school, I was really good, and now look at this. So, I disagree with you on the talent frozen in time scenario.
Yeah, you get a teeny glimpse of a very,
very small,
poorly drawn art on our merch store, where we have an Einstein logo with half a Terminator face. That's a very
that was you?
Yeah.
That was not poorly drawn. I like that a lot, actually.
I did enjoy that. I thought that was a Peyton.
No, I hand drew that.
Very nice. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, very cool.
Anyway, yeah. So that's it. How about you, Dean? Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I think actually I don't even need this question, because I figured out a way to fuck the paradox.
Mm-hmm.
I am going. In theory, I know in advance.
Fuck the paradox.
Fuck the paradox. I know that I'm going to have this meeting, so I'm going to get the lottery numbers or whatever numbers, or horse race or whatever it is, and I'm going to
race. Easy there, big roller.
Whatever. So I'm going to hand him an envelope, so that way he's going. He doesn't, whatever he's going to bet on or lottery numbers doesn't happen until a week before I go, or a day before I go in. That way he doesn't get the numbers, right? I do when I go back. Huh? You see what I'm saying? So as soon as I leave the meeting, I have the lottery numbers for whatever.
Okay.
So in theory, I don't have to fuck up, what I've gone through. I'm going to give myself the numbers for the present moment, kind of like so Marty McFly. He gets the letter from Doc from 1870.
Okay. So you're going to still live out your life, but when you get to that moment,
now I get to be rich.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I get to be grumpy piece of shit me, and now I get to
with money.
Exactly.
Grumpy shithead Dean with money.
Right.
Well, that's interesting. Wait a minute. How? Try it. Hold on. How would that
I would have to think a little bit more about it, but in theory,
because your present self doesn't know the future.
No, I'm going to write down the lottery numbers for today.
I see.
So then when he goes back in time, he's still going to have to live out the rest of his 48 years or whatever. And then when he gets to this point,
save this envelope, protect this envelope with your life, never open it. Make sure this envelope is on this nightstand before you leave to come do this interview.
But if you return back to your current time, the lottery's already passed.
No.
But it's going to happen that night. Yeah, that right.
So this is a free time travel scenario.
Exactly. There's a lot of it's bullshit, of course, but in theory, whatever. But actually, my real answer is what Nick had said: college. I would tell Dean to suck it up, and it's not useless. It's not worthless. Go to fucking college. If you want to go to college for whatever. I regret not going to college for broadcasting. I later went to a broadcasting school, but I should have gone to actual college. I should have gone. My secondary would have been marketing or advertising. Advertising has always been fascinating to me.
I started that, just never finished.
See, there you
I did go to school for that, and then I just did it like 2 semesters and quit.
See, I would, like you guys said, stick through it. No matter what happens, stick through it. Finish, go to, you know what I mean? College is one thing I do regret, and I wish I would have gone and done. So without, in theory I could, yeah.
That's going to cut into my drinking beer and playing hockey time. I just don't see how that fits in my life anymore.
Right.
I'm still trying to make the show.
You got to weigh it back and forth.
It's either that or the NHL.
Just put the goddamn marketing passion into promoting this fucking podcast.
I scored 2 goals last week, so I think I'm a little closer to the NHL than a high-paying job in marketing and advertising. So
yeah,
I do have a point.
I always have a point.
No, I'm
a fucking genius.
I'm giving you a hard time. No, go ahead.
At this age, nothing's hard. I think, go to college. Go for whatever you're passionate at the time for, or if you want to change it. Just go to college, have that experience. I had the college experience, but without the college, which was fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time. I did the drinking. I did the whatever we do at that time. I did all that. But
that being said, though,
with this as the result, not of, I can go get this job. I can go get that job. So I had the fun without the fun end result.
Yeah.
So
that being said, though, I am a big believer in, and I'm not like a religious person or anything, but I am a big believer in things have a natural order or a way of things working out. And I do think that a lot, because certainly I wish that I would have gone to college, but I wish that I would have gone to college with Nick's brain and head going into the, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
If I would have gone to college when I'm thinking that I should have, it would have been wasted. I would have fucked it up. I wouldn't have taken it seriously, and it would have been wasted money. And it would have.
Maybe we should all do like the LeBron thing. You take 4 years off. So you dick around 4 years, and then you come back to do the serious stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe we shouldn't go to college as a society, or at least American society. We shouldn't go right away. Maybe you can't get out of high school and go to college. You have to take 2 years and go do something. Go live your life. Experience the real world. Experience shit. Experience heartache. Just go see the world. If it's your world's across the block, that's it. That's your world. But you experience the world. Then after 2 years, then you can go in and go, okay, this makes sense to do this as a career.
Right.
Who knows? Fucking.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot who went to broadcasting school at like fucking 30, so what do I know?
You have a podcast now.
There we go. Yeah.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. No, but whether I tell teenage Dean this or that to make my life do this or that. It could go many different ways. But ultimately, I'm very happy of where I'm at right now. Trials and tribulations and whatever you go through, I'm pretty goddamn happy right now. So
yeah, that's all you can ask, man.
Regardless of the jokes that I tell and the grumpiness, I am quite happy to do this podcast with you guys. Well, most of you, and
talking to you, Golden Dean head in the back,
motherfucker. That's the guy that made the mistakes. That guy.
All right, we won't go into detail here. Maybe it's a future episode, but so we are our current ages, right?
Uh-huh.
If you had a choice to meet your future self,
I like that.
So 10, 20 years from now, would you? So I'm going to see a gravestone. Well, maybe it's the Dean.
Why is it an urn?
Yeah. Yep. Would you want to meet your future self and understand? Yeah. Same question. You have to go. That's not the details as far as what would you ask. Maybe it's another question in the future. But would you want to meet your future self? Maybe you'll be happy with it. Maybe you would not be so happy with 10, 20 years down the line. From I guess there could be a lot of tragedy in your life.
Sure.
You don't know. Would you want to?
Here's the thing, and see, guys, tell me if I'm right on this. You don't even need to get into the conversation. I think that I have, at 42 years old, I think that I have enough intelligence to meet my older self and take. Who fucking said that? I didn't even watch it. Dickhead.
It could have been either one of us, really.
I know.
Nick and I are more in sync.
I know, it really is. And by the way, look up and you're both looking the same.
We're one mind.
But no, I think that I could be able to tell, just meeting older Dean and being you still get warnings without having to get into what actually happened. Give me details. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Where is he at? What does he look like? What's happening?
Right.
Yeah.
So if he has an eye patch, you have to be careful.
Or not.
Right.
It looks cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I lose my eye? No, I just like fashion. Oh, you're a dude.
I'd be like, well, it came with the corncob pipe and the fucking cap.
That's all tying together.
This is just a prop to look older than I am.
I'm in the high school play. Oh, shit.
Yep. Your beard is so great. I'm dyeing it gray. Shit. Nick, would you just yesterday? Would you want to meet your future self? Or
curiosity
not
curiosity would get the better of me, and I would absolutely, because there's certainly I'd be like, just live your life, and what happens happens. But if I had that opportunity, the curiosity would be too great. I would just, like you said, there could be tragedy or it could be incredible, and it just, what does that do to your psyche? Depending on what you see. So yeah, I don't know, but I would be too curious. I couldn't help myself. I'd want to know.
Brian, would you?
It's interesting if you ask yourself the same question as a teenager. Would you want to meet yourself now? Would you meet it would be, in many respects, I would want to at least kind of see where I was and get an idea, because it's a version of yourself, right? Because it's the whole timeline thing. Is if you see you're in a situation that this is not the best, so I don't know how to be better than that,
right?
But I can do something
to
now
look out for
maybe
awful.
Divert. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Anyway. Well, would it be worse or better? If you walked in the room, all right, you're going to meet, 20 years from now, Brian, and he's like this fucking buff Greek god.
That's right.
Is that more intimidating than walking in and finding a homeless Brian? You know what I mean?
If I like the situation, I'm just like, well, I don't want to know something's going to happen. I just want to obviously do something right somewhere. But if it's something is not so good, then I need to remember that too to think. Okay, I don't want to wind up
maybe
at that version.
See, but if I walk in and see Buff Dean, I'm like, now I'm into my own head of going, oh shit, I need to make all these right decisions because that was like the awesome version that I need to get to. Now I'm into my own head and I fuck everything up.
Or what if you find out Buff Dean got so buff because you're like, yeah, I found out I could get this way by eating babies. And then you're like, oh my God, like what is Dean turned into?
Fuck, double score.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I love your scenario.
Okay, it's not from the straight from the tap though, so don't get carried away. It's like actually, I know you're excited right now, but it's
great.
You got to let him ferment a little bit. So calm down.
Yep. Not from the sauna.
Well, from the movies I've seen, that's kind of where it happens.
Hashtag straight from the tap.
Straight from the tap.
I like that.
That's baby, straight from the tap.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Good stuff. Well, I think, guys, before we actually meet our future selves,
I was going to say, if we keep going long enough, we're about to be future us. So
we sure are.
It was late and the early days tomorrow and all that, but great episode, guys.
And we'll end up homeless versions of ourselves because we're going to get fired for sleeping on the job tomorrow.
Yeah. I feel like our future selves right now, there's a possibility that based on this episode, we were thinking, our future selves are telling ourselves, you guys were really starting to question what in the hell you were doing with this rinky-dink podcast until the episode where you discussed if you would meet your future, and that was the particular episode that just blew the fuck up in Germany and just swept the entire German country. That's it. I almost said continent.
Now you German guys are going to be rich, but you all have to move to Germany.
The Kinder straight from the top, yeah.
I could dig it.
Let's move to Germany. I'm all about it.
Absolutely. Nick definitely has German DNA. I have some German DNA.
Yeah,
I'm a quarter German. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. So
I like to drink German DNA, so let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. Straight from the tap. Hashtag straight from the tap. All right. So Nick, thinking very carefully here that this particular outro could be the catalyst to our future selves looking back and saying this was the moment that this podcast really turned a corner.
Yeah.
I want you to think very carefully and give us a great outro. And you choose if you want to do a voice or whatever you think about that.
Wow.
What is it? What is your future? I want you to reach out to your channel, right? Channel your future self. And the young Nick at the same time. So young Nick and older Nick it's all forces coming together.
Young Nick, especially teenage Nick, really loved staying up late and watching Comedy Central, so we've got that coming in.
And he loves doing this with his hair.
Nick right now really enjoys a lot of superhero content and movies, Marvel movies. Okay, there's a lot of prominent figures coming in. Nick enjoyed comedy. There's a lot of Chappelle's Show. Chappelle's Show emulated Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury. That's it. I don't know why, but Samuel L. Jackson is coming to me.
I like it.
And here's how it goes, motherfuckers. If you want to join Convincing Idiots next week, I want you to listen up. You need to go over there, find a link tree, motherfucking Convincing Idiots link tree, motherfuckers. You go in there, you type into Google, Convincing Idiots, LINKTR motherfucking EE. And there, you're going to find all of the Convincing Idiots links. So make sure you like, you subscribe, you rate, and go ahead and review that shit, because you know we want to hear from you. Make sure you also go over to Convincing Idiots website. That's convincingidiots.wordpress.com. Make sure you go over there and like, subscribe, rate, review, do whatever the fuck it is you do on the internet. Also, be sure to help out the podcast. We know you got money, you piece of shit. Go ahead and give these motherfuckers some money. Now, without any more further ado, I'm your fucking millennial, your motherfucking millennial, Nick.
I'm the Zennial Dean, wondering if that's Samuel L. Jackson or really angry, dirty Mr. T.
I pity the motherfucking fool. Does not tune in to watch Gen X Brian on the next episode of Convincing Idiots.
Have we convinced you, motherfuckers, to join us for another episode of Convincing Idiots in the future?
Pain.
Hey, did you like that video? You know you did, and we know you did. So stop screwing around and go like that video, subscribe to our channel, and join us for some more.